There we go. Just trying to get my my clicker to work. Put that right there. Okay, I am setting up the canvas and I'm going to paint backgrounds today. So I'm getting out my paints so I can get started. And I was looking for my gloves because I have to sew later. Could not find the gloves. It is what it is. I just have to be careful. So I'm in your way. Anyway, I've got 4 canvases prepped here. I'm not sure exactly which ones I'm going to do. I know I'm going to do a sky, so I'm getting out my Cerulean Blue also. And I'm going to note something here. This is Cerulean Blue. It's not a Cerulean Blue hue. It is a Cerulean Blue, which costs a lot more money than a regular Cerulean Blue does. But it makes a difference. I paint in oils, and I paint those are all dry. I need to throw those away. I paint a very specific type of oils. I'm very what do I say? Particular about what I do, how I do it. And so I'm particular about the kind of paint. When I was originally taught how to paint, I was taught to use the specific kinds, the best. Be careful, don't use cheap paint, that sort of thing. And so when I paint, I don't use cheap paint. I don't use crap. I use the good stuff, which is Windsor and Newton. That's the best paint out there, and I'm very particular about it. I don't use crap. I use good paint. So I know a lot of people do not use or do not paint in oils anymore. They paint with acrylics, which is fine. They're allowed. I just prefer not to. So when I set up my canvas, and if you're looking at my little table here, I kind of put it together myself, but anyway, I like it a lot. When I set up my canvas, I do a color wheel, and this is Windsor and Newton Alizarin Crimsom. This is going to be a kind of a long video, but I'm going to break it up into two parts. I've done this one before, so I'm going to pull it out just to, no, because I need it. I'm going to leave it the way it is. So I start, that's a lot of paint, but I'm going to be doing backgrounds, and if I still have paint, I will pull out some of my small ones and put that away. As you can see, I've done this before, and you don't have to shake oils. They're stabilized in the tube. This is my yellow, which is a cadmium yellow medium. My blue is a French Ultamarine, and I put it on the right. That's a lot because I intend on using a lot. Now, I mix most of my own paint. Can't get that lid back on straight. It wants to go on crooked. I was looking, as I mentioned, I was looking for my gloves because I have to sew later. That's important. This is a raw umber. These are 200 milliliter, 6.7 US fluid ounce tubes. They're a little pricey. Raw umber. So I'm going to put it over here. See how it comes out? That's a lot. But the way I paint, I go through a lot of paint. Lots of it. This is raw sienna. But I use these colors to mix with these other ones. Now I use the Cerulean Blue when I do backgrounds, when I do skies. But there's another one up here, and I don't know what I did with it. This is dry. It's Prussian Blue, but I'm keeping it because I want to make sure I get another one. There's the other one. I did get another Prussian Blue, so that one gets to go in the trash. So I'm going to add over here a little bit of Prussian Blue because that is better for darks. It's a color that I'm not good at mixing. It takes too much time. There's my my Cerulean Blue and my titanium white. Now, I have arthritis. This little tool, you can get it in most art stores, and it's for opening. Okay, come on. It doesn't want to work, so I have another little tool that does work. I believe they call these channel locks. There goes the lid right off of there. And I get quite a bit of white, like right here in the middle. If you're paying attention, I want you to note something that's really important. On my this is glass. It's a round piece of glass. I've had it for a really long time. And this is my original piece of glass. I've got 3 or 4 other ones down here, just in case, God forbid, I ever break it. But since I've probably had this 30 years, I'm very careful with it. Now, this is a palette knife. This is the original one I bought when I started painting again as an adult. I have no idea what happened to the rest of my stuff. Now, I take and I start sectioning off my paint. And I'm going to do this with my left hand so my hand is not in the way. And I work towards the other paints. There are 2 things that I keep close. Big old fat roll of paper. And the other thing is this, because once I'm done with this, I will cover with saran wrap. These sit right over here. That's another easel right there. It's got a bunch of stuff behind it, so I'm just going to leave it alone. So now I'm going to, make sure you can see, take my reds, my Alizarin Crimsons, and I'm going to start mixing them. You'll note it's lighter over here. It's going to be darker over here. I got them kind of close because I usually have them spread out more, but I wanted to make sure you got them in here. I can always pull them out down here and darken them up more if I choose to. Now, I'm going to pull some of the Alizarin Crimsom. There's a fly, a little bitty fly, over here with my French Ultramarine, and I do the same. And this is my purples. Get the dark and start working, or it's not lighter because French Ultramarine, Alizarin Crimsom are your purples. You want to do it this way. Now, I can't pull it over this way because of the way I put my white right in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down some of my French Ultramarine right here, and I'm going to pick up some of this yellow. Wellow. That's one of my kids used to say. And you start working up and doing your greens. Now that you have all of your colors together, and I will use all of them as I work through my process. That is how I set up my canvas. You will note this I'm going to set over here, and I have two. These are flats. They're not a full inch wide, but these are my two favorite brushes. I use liquid, and I use a pot like this. And I've got a lid for it over there. Put the brushes back where they were. Now, I intend to move this over there, but I haven't gotten it done yet. Okay. Liquid gets really hard to open. Arthritis is not fun, people. Get a hold of it. Channel locks, people. Very good stuff. And liquid is a medium. Now, a medium will help you it helps not only with the drawing process. That fell in the trash can. I'm going to leave it there. But it also helps. Now I have paint all over that. I'm going to throw it in the trash because I already have paint on my hands. It's going to happen. It's just the way it is. The other thing that I use, this is odorless turpentine. This is a jelly jar. That's a scrubby. I have spent lots and lots of money on stuff to do this right. Through the years, I've learned there are better ways. This is a bar of dial soap. Now, there is pink soap, and it's good for your brushes, etc., etc. But this is a good way, and you'll notice that I've chopped it up because it gives you that surface to clean your brushes on. I got this from Walmart. Chopped it up. There you go. Okay. Now, this is how you set up a basic color wheel. Some basic tools. This is beginnings of my artwork. I've been painting since I was 14. I am long past 14. And my artwork can be found on my Etsy store, which is going to be in the comments. It's DABOHO, BOHO, southwest.etsy.com. And you can find my artwork there. Click on that subscribe button. And on to the next video.